I said in the last video that we need national attention over this wreck because in Florida, because not only to this just one wreck, it needs to shine the spotlight on the whole happenings in the trucking industry. Video after video that we make, it feels like we've been ignored by larger media venues like Fox News, CNN, and others. But now with this wreck, and I think basically it puts an eyeball with the dash cam footage and all that. It puts an eyeball on this. I don't think if this dash cam video actually came out, I don't think it'd be getting the firestorm that it's getting, unfortunately. But fortunately, if there's something that good that comes out of this dash cam did get released. And it puts a spotlight on the trucking industry, which I begged for. And a lot of you guys begged for it too. And now, much larger YouTube channels than this one, that's not even in the trucking space. Fox News, I don't know about CNN. I've seen a thing on Fox News where they're covering this now, and they're stating this is an issue. Now, we've been saying it's an issue, okay? Now it's getting even a bigger issue. Like before, we had Owen Schroyer and Mark Dice, and those are huge. Well, Owen Schroyer was kicked off YouTube, but those are larger media things than what I am, obviously. Mark Dice is one of my YouTube. I love Mark Dice. Mark Dice, if you're ever watching this, I'm a fan. They covered the executive order back in May, and Owen Schroyer helped cover the one down in Austin, which is great. But now we're starting to get more exposure over this. The more there's a bigger problem. And so just now this morning, Benny Johnson, who is obviously, he's a much bigger name, right? He says, breaking, Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to me, that ICE is seriously considering immigration enforcement at truck weigh stations across America. Meaning that since you DOT officers ain't going to do your job, which that's a part of your job, we'll just put ICE in there. Hey, question for the channel. Do you think that this is actually going to help? Do you think if ICE goes in there, will they actually do something? What about those guys that blow past the scale? Listen, I know my way around through the woods. I know my way around through grandma's house. You old school drivers know what I'm talking about when I mean grandma's house. This follows a criminal alien truck driver killing 3 Americans in Florida when he executed an illegal U-turn. Again, this happened on August 12th. Okay, before I even covered it, it already happened. I was covering the thing in Love's up in Wichita. And then, but when this came out and when the dash cam came out, that changed everything. That put a spotlight. Oh, this is what's happening. This is exactly what's happening here. And what this says in the trucking industry, what this video is a summary of what's going on, right? You have an illegal invader, because that's what he is, gets a CDL in a state, and it's not just in California they're doing this, they're doing this all over the country. He goes untrained and then does a lot of stuff, does stuff like U-turns, doing runs like the guy in Terrell, Texas, where he was running illegal, right? He's from Cuba. Turns out his visa was expired. It was like on a tourist visa, and I don't even think you're supposed to get a CDL off that anyway. And that was in Florida, by the way, where he got his CDL. That's what I'm saying. This is not a, right versus left and what state is this state. It's happening all over the country, and this should show a spotlight on what's actually happening in trucking. Will ICE actually do this? I don't know. DHS spokesperson tells me ICE enforcement at truck stops and DOT weigh stations are on the table. What did I call for in the last video? I actually said it. Hey, go back and listen to that footage. Hang on. I'll do the trickery of YouTube and video editing. Here you go. Hey, ICE, you listening? Someone tag ICE. Someone send this to ICE's tip line or their tip email. If they have one, I don't know. You wanna save some lives? Go into truck stops. Check everyone. Go into weigh stations. Oh, by the way, these guys blow by the weigh stations. Guess who's not chasing them down? That's a DOT. I actually said it. And now, are they listening? I'm happy if they are. Listen, if they're not listening to me, that's great. If they're listening to the message anyway, where it's coming from is a good thing. And you guys in the comments, you guys go and you share these videos, you talk about it on Facebook, you talk about it on X or wherever you do your social media. When you go and talk about it, it doesn't matter how big or small your audience level is. If you're talking about it, if you're talking about it in person and just getting the word out there that not only our nation but our trucking industry is being overran by invaders. It's one thing when you have illegal immigrants coming and working on farms and stuff like that, but when you have illegal invaders coming over here and getting in a truck untrained and being 80,000 pounds, one dumb move, and it don't take much. And listen, that I don't know anything about that. The people that were in that minivan, I don't know who they are. Usually, a week later, 5, 6, 7 days later, you're finally starting to feel, you hear about the victims and who they are. I haven't heard anything about that, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that they would still be alive if that guy wasn't even in this country. If that was an American driver, chances are they'd still be alive, because that American driver who would be trained to know that illegal U-turn is illegal, or trained to know the signs. A trained truck driver, American truck driver, would know that. Common sense. Again, when I look at this footage, it's almost like he did it on purpose. That's just my opinion. But when I state that, other people see the same thing. It's like there's no remorse. There's no, listen, you see what the facial expression, it does not lie. Listen, most of you guys, if someone lost their life or a major wreck like this happened because of your actions, wouldn't you show some sort of like freaking out kind of thing? Like, oh no, what did I do? Or what just happened if it's not your fault, but like, oh, what just happened? Wouldn't you be freaking out? Wouldn't you be like no, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna set my brakes. No big deal. Because chances are this guy is gonna be deported. Okay? Back where he's, I'm a refugee from India. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about no, I'm not. I'll say it on X. I've said it on X. Okay? These guys coming from India thinking they're gonna come over here and have a better life, and that's what's happened. But come over here and do it legally. Do it legally. I don't know. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox on that. But ICE coming over here to the to the weigh stations, to truck stops, to shippers and receivers. I called it. Okay. Secretary Noem and the DHS is keeping all enforcement options on the table to keep Americans safe. Again, These guys blow past way stations. They go by grandma's house, but they have to go into truck stops to get fuel. They have to. There's no avoiding getting fuel. And you could go avoid taking your 10-hour break and blah, blah, blah. You got to get fuel. So truck stops are unavoidable. I'm just sitting there saying that's just how you do it. Way stations, yes. Truck stops, yes. And we need to listen. You want to know another big problem here? And I'll just pass this on to you guys. We need to start holding shippers accountable, brokers accountable. You know, because they're the ones putting those loads out there on trucks to be hauled. Shippers and brokers. Those guys need to be held accountable as well. I mean, it's not just them, but they need to do something about it. Bonehead Truckers, we're gone.
So with all the bad companies out there, where's all the good companies at? Well, right here, TRC Freight. I've been telling you guys about TRC Freight for how many years now? What makes us better is that we're transparent, okay? You negotiate your load, you get the rate con. Sometimes we book a load for you. Guess what you get? The rate con. If you book a load for $1,000, you get 88% of that $1,000. We don't mess with the logs here. If you have hours, you have hours. If you don't have hours, you don't have hours. We're not going to go and sit there and says, hey, Mr. Joe Bob truck driver, we're going to change your hours. We're going to need you to run 20 hours on this load. We don't do that here. We are an American company ran right here in the United States of America. We have United States citizens. When you call us, you're calling us United States citizen. Okay, that's big today. I'm just sitting there saying, okay, and the owner of TRC Freight is a Marine. You just don't mess with Marines, okay? There's some patriotic son of guns. I'm just sitting there telling you. Listen, if you want to find out more about us, give us a holler. TRC Freight, trcandme.com is our website. 88% full transparency. We don't hide anything from you. You come over here, you know what you're getting. And I'm telling you right now, we're Americans over here. That means something. trcandme.com.